So the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer broke the internet last night, and apparently the brains of many Marvel fans, as the Mephisto theories are back in full force. I'm not kidding at all. Many people think that Mephisto was in this trailer. Let's go through what was in the trailer that's making fans think this. After all, ladies and gentlemen, the devil's in the details.
The devil's in the details, Bev.
Or maybe in this trailer, or hopefully in the MCU in some way, shape, or form. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to get into this. I absolutely love the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, but while all the other YouTubers are making sweet breakdowns, pulling out all the little details, your boy's going to try to convince you that Mephisto might still be a thing. And you know, whenever one of these big pop culture things happens, I love just sitting back and observing, watching how the good people of the internet respond to such things, and I'm often blown away by the different connections or maybe memes or things that come out. And what I'm about to talk about is a perfect example of that, because I am not kidding at all when I tell you that one of the main reasons many folks online think that this trailer hints at Mephisto is the fact that Doctor Strange is just acting a little weird. Like, I'm totally serious. Like, people just think there's something off about Strange, from the look that he has to the actions that he takes and just a general vibe that he's giving off. I swear to you, many people are indicating that they think this Strange is either a different Strange or somebody like Mephisto in disguise. I've even had people pointing out that the Strange we see in the train sequence looks pretty different than the Strange we see in the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York. And you know what's so freaking wild about this point is that even though I think it's absurd, I can't exactly tell people that they're wrong for thinking that. There is something weird about Doctor Strange in this trailer. Maybe it's just Benedict Cumberbatch getting the rust off of performing in that role. Maybe it's an intentional choice, or maybe it's just the vibe the trailer gives off. But there's something strange about that Doctor Strange. Now, your mileage may vary on that point and how much you think that's actually something to bring up, but there's a lot of other people focusing on the fact that this trailer indicates that the film's going to share at least one major plot point with the One More Day storyline from Marvel Comics. And in the One More Day storyline, Peter Parker goes to Doctor Strange to try to get his aid in casting a spell that would have the world forget that he is Peter Parker, that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And we obviously see a version of that going down in this trailer, and it seems to be a big plot point for the film. But you see, in the Marvel Comics version of this story, Peter Parker was unable to be helped by Doctor Strange. In fact, the only person strong enough to cast such a spell was Mephisto. So you take that fact from the comics. We know Marvel likes to sort of twist things around, but it's really interesting that Doctor Strange is unable to do this in the comics, and then Peter Parker has to literally enlist the help of Mephisto. And this idea of like a deal with the devil, it is something that's sort of all over this trailer. We hear commentary saying, be careful what you wish for, Peter. And it's pretty obvious that Peter trying to fix this issue causes, or at least is part of the cause, for breaking of the multiverse and bringing in all of these other Spider-Man villains from other universes. Now, that in and of itself is kind of crazy, and you could see how people would feel that way, but the established Mephisto rumors from all the way back in WandaVision are another big reason that I think fans are more apt to believe this Mephisto theory. Now, let me take you back to those times, right? If you'll recall, many people thought that Mephisto, or perhaps Nightmare, or a hybrid character that was part Mephisto and part Nightmare, was going to be the one pulling the strings of Agatha and perhaps even pulling the strings of Wanda in the WandaVision show. It was also reported by many insiders and scoopers that Marvel was making a multiversal trilogy, or really a series of movies, that was going to involve WandaVision, No Way Home, and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I know WandaVision's not a movie, but they shoot it with a movie studio. They treat all of their Disney Plus shows like a film, and I just remember this was a huge deal and a big reason as to why people thought a Nightmare Mephisto hybrid character, or Mephisto, was going to play a role in WandaVision. Because one of the best ways to connect a series of movies and something crazy like the multiverse is using a crazy powerful character that could somehow be involved in what was going on with breaking the multiverse. And we know for a fact that Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange was originally going to be in the WandaVision show, but he was removed from that show. It's possible that Mephisto or Nightmare or whatever character this ends up being was also removed from the show. And perhaps all of this stuff was taken out of that movie because they were shifting things around or trying to preserve the true secret of Mephisto being in charge of everything. And from the canon perspective, it really depends on what is exactly happening here with magic, with the multiverse. But if a character like Mephisto does exist in the MCU, and epic grand scale spells and multiverse breaking magic is actually going down, this is a character that would be involved in that kind of a story. I also want to mention that although Shumagorath is the big villain in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or at least that's the rumor out there according to different reports, I have personally heard that another villain or other villains that are even grander in scope could be introduced in that film. And again, the Darkhold, Shumagorath, the Dark Dimension, all of these crazy, powerful, dark, magical entities, it really does feel like Mephisto would be involved with this kind of stuff if he does exist in the MCU. And wouldn't that be the craziest thing they ever did? What if they set all of this bizarre stuff up and then just remove Mephisto from WandaVision to try to preserve that secret for Spider-Man, because maybe they knew with all the multiverse stuff, the focus would be on that, and they could slip in a Mephisto-like surprise and blow all of our freaking minds. Hey man, it's probably a long shot, but it's definitely something that the internet is talking about, and so somebody has to do the dirty work of doing a 8 to 10 minute video explaining it to all of you. Smash the like on this video if you thought it was enjoyable. Subscribe to the channel to get more of our content in your recommended feed, and go over to our live streaming channel where I talk about all this great nerdy stuff 5 days a week. It's a good freaking time. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.